Okay.
So yeah, I just want to talk about like I don't think a lot of people are reviewing the Oh, I think we're live. Okay, we are live, everyone. But yeah, today, yeah, what I was telling you, Sam, is I don't think a lot of people are really getting into the EV tax credit and how a lot of cars do not qualify, or it looks like a lot of cars are not going to qualify, and there might be only one car that qualifies, which we'll get into, of course. But I want to check in with you and kind of your research on the bill because we talked a week ago. Well, first, how are you?
Good, good.
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was looking at this list. Have you seen the Department of Energy list on what qualifies right now?
Yeah. So it looks like that qualifies like today or like through the end of this year. But
Yeah.
as you know, there's two strict requirements for EVs, right? You want to go over that?
Yeah, it was like the battery minerals have to be so it's half and half, right? The credit is actually half and half. The first one is that the battery minerals need to be 40% from the US or a partner that is or trading partner. So trading partner meaning a country that has a free trade agreement with the US. Um, and then the other half is that the battery components need to be made in the US or North America.
Right. And I was even looking into that, like the free trade agreement, there's a lot of countries that are not on that list, specifically China, right?
Of
China,
course.
Russia. And I think like it even breaks down to like certain percentages of the battery can't even be made from those areas. What's up, Yao Fomo? Welcome back. You bought the Ford Lightning. What's your first impressions on the Ford Lightning? But yeah, so yeah, there's certain aspects of it, and so the real question is, should customers, if you're interested in buying an EV today, should they buy an EV today or wait it out and kind of gamble and try and get a Model Y another EV next year? But you're right. So let me pull up that list while we're kind of talking
Well, I'm
here.
like looking at the list, right? So the Audi, BMWs, what else is on the list? The Rivians uh, will not qualify next year for sure. The Volvo, I'm not so sure about. The Mercedes, I'm pretty sure will not qualify. So I know those batteries are not made in the US,
Okay.
or
And
I'm
also
pretty sure.
the Rivian is like too expensive, I think, too. Now that they've removed like that Explore package.
Yeah. The Rivian, you'd have to buy the base of what's available now. I was on the website just before this.
Okay.
You just can't add anything. Don't change the colors, don't add anything, and you'll still qualify.
I mean, base is always good. It's the best value, right?
Yeah, yeah. But then all the other cars on this list that are like the Chevy Bolt EUV, the Chevy Bolt EV, the Ford Mach E, what else? The F-150 Lightning, those should all qualify. By extension, the Lincolns should qualify. The Nissan Leaf will continue to qualify, and then the big one on the block, Tesla, should be everything that matches meets the sales price will qualify.
Right. So I guess that's the question because this is the article I sent to you yesterday about the NPR is pretty credible, right? So
Yeah,
they basically said 7,500 tax credit could be available, but it gets really complicated. And the one couple paragraphs that dive into it is, which I actually didn't know until I read this article or last week, is that the full tax credit is 7,500, but it's broken out into 3,750 and 3,750 depending on the minerals within the EV battery, as well as, I guess, the assembly of the car as well. So
yeah.
have you actually looked into like the 40% of the minerals for those cars that we listed, like the Mach-E and the Teslas?
That's too difficult. Like that's too far up those supply chains to find out. But we know that Chile, which has a free trade agreement with the U.S., they have lots of lithium. And then the other supplier is Congo, which China has a grasp on at this point. So,
I
and
see.
then there's a few lithium mines in the U.S. Uh, that have recently closed for some reason or another, and then there's also a few available sites that are not being mined because they're on Native American land. So it becomes a question of will those start operating again, or will new mines start opening in the U.S. because of this bill?
I see. I see. So do you know? So the ones you just mentioned, Chile and the other one, are they? Um, what manufacturers do they support or sell to?
That's too difficult. It's too far up the supply chain. You see, like if we knew that CATL owned the mine or something, they would be like, okay, those are made in China. Or if we knew that those mines are owned by Panasonic, it'd be like, okay, those are probably going to Japan or the U.S. But we don't really know who owns the mines or anything like that at this point, or at least I don't know. I haven't dug that deep into it.
Right.
But I'd imagine that a lot of the lithium being mined in Chile is going to start coming to the U.S.
I see. I see. Yeah, I guess that's the big question that, I mean, hopefully we're going to find out in these next few months because it would be great if a lot of these cars would qualify. But did you see the other day that Ford with the Mach-E raised their prices like $3,000 to $8,000 across the board?
I did not see that. I've not really been paying attention to the pricing of the vehicles. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
So what
I,
happened
I,
was
I
for the
will tell you that battery minerals doesn't just mean lithium only. So there are other things in it, like maybe it's phosphate or if it's iron or something like that. Those are considered battery minerals as well, and we definitely do have those. And the first year is 40%.
right,
So I don't know the chemistry makeup of the batteries of what percent of the minerals are lithium, but we'll find out real soon if those components that are definitely available in the US will start qualifying batteries in the 40% level. And I feel like they will because um, they definitely did their calculations on their side because they don't want to take the tax credit away. That's not what they wanted to do. Now,
well,
if it
it
does take the tax credit away because they're requiring too much, then they screwed up basically.
right. Well, if you think about it, we went from what was the headline like 90 eligible EVs that could get some sort of tax credit to now only like 17. So they really just wanted to strip this away from EV cars to get this tax credit and to force these manufacturers to start the battery development and everything in America. So if they didn't want to strip it away and force that, they would have done some sort of phase out, which they didn't do.
I think the majority of the cars made in the US will qualify under 40%.
Right. And the thing is, I think it's all self-reported, right? I think the manufacturers just kind of tell the EPA.
Yeah.
So maybe they can just squeeze out that extra 40% for the battery.
We'll see. I mean, I don't think anyone dares do what Volkswagen did with their diesel cars anymore.
Right. Right. But I mean, maybe they'll give GM and Ford a pass, just because it's America, and this bill was to really support America. So let's jump into the questions. Happy Hippo, welcome back. Good question. I already knew that. Perfect. Dylan Brown really wanted to buy a Tesla. Your recent videos are convincing me to wait. Yes, yeah. I think the market is going to crash, or it's going to correct at least for the Teslas. And I'm not convinced that the Model 3 is going to get the $7,500 tax credit and maybe just the Model Y. So yeah, I would just definitely wait it out. That's what I'm
Wait,
thinking.
what makes you think that the Model 3 won't get it?
So I haven't done too much research. I'm just kind of just going off from what I hear. But the Model 3 batteries uh, isn't sourced from that for over 40%. Please correct me though, because I want a 39K Model Y, Model 3.
I could have sworn that those Model 3 batteries are produced in Nevada.
Okay. I mean, it seems.
I'm gonna check that right now.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, so from what I hear, 40% has to be above, right? The critical minerals, and that comes from China. And it sounds like all minerals for batteries come from China right now. Like China has like a huge grasp on it. And so right off the bat, the Model 3 might only get the 3750. And so it says here the other 3750 is linked to battery components. Starting in 2023, 50% of the components will have to be manufactured or assembled in North America. And supposedly, the Model 3 does not get over that 50% mark for 2023. And only the Model Y might possibly qualify for the 3750. But this is all speculation, right? So we'll start to know more soon. But as you're researching that, Happy Hippo, I'm on the fence. I have an order now. Yep, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. FOMO, the markets are 100% going to crash. Yeah, if we take any indication with Bitcoin this weekend, we're gonna see some blood this coming week. That's for sure. Uh, Happy Hippo, but FSD just increased to 15K. You think they're gonna lower prices, aka crash? FSD is a scam. Do not get it. It's not worth 12K. It's not worth 15K. That's my opinion. And I have written in the FSD beta. It's. I don't think you're really going to get 15K value out of that. Yeah, FOMO. I only know how to buy high and sell low. Is that a summary of your Ford Lightning today? But congrats on the Ford Lightning. I'm definitely jealous. That's a cool ass truck, and you're gonna make some good content out of that. That's for sure. Let's see. I think that's all the comments. All right, how's the research going?
I'm still looking. This is why supply chain research is so difficult.
Yeah. Well, I'm still looking at that. Today's stream is sponsored by my Tesla coaching call. If you have questions on buying, selling, or financing a Tesla, I have a Tesla coaching call down below in the description. You can check it out and schedule a call using my Calendly link. You'll also get my Tesla resource guide, which has all the links and tips and tricks that I have on how to basically buy and sell a Tesla at a good deal. So check it out check it out below in the description, and we'll go from there. Happy Hippo, did you pay MSRP for the Ford or any markup? That question was the Yafomo. Yafomo, this one I got wrecked. You did okay. I mean, it's not as bad as it could have been, but I mean, at least you got a Ford Lightning before everybody else. But going back to the list, yeah, that's the other question: is the Bolt, is that going to qualify too? And
It will.
100%. You're putting your money down.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100% will qualify.
What's
Because those
so?
batteries are made by LG in Michigan.
Okay. What's the difference between the EUV and the EV? Like, what is that?
The EUV is like a fat version of the EV.
Okay, so like, it's is it as big as a Model Y or?
I have not seen it in person, I don't think. Um, so I'm not entirely sure, but I know that it's like the same situation as the Model 3 and the Model Y. It's like a small one and a big one.
I see. Electric utility vehicle. I see.
It's like almost an SUV, but it's not quite enough of an SUV for even the EPA to call it an SUV. But it's cheap
Gotcha.
enough to qualify it as a car as well.
As a sedan. Yeah, so if you look at this, I'm sharing my screen. Right when I guess it got announced, it got some spike in traffic. This is Google Trends search data, and it kind of fizzled out. But then, if you look at that, August 7th through the 13th, even 14th, when the tax credit was actually announced, there was a little bit of spike as well because this car, I guess, qualifies next year. So if customers were to put orders in today, they'll take delivery in January, which will then get the tax credit, which would mean
Okay,
this would be
so
a slick deal.
The research is somewhat inconclusive because Tesla uses different batteries depending on which factory they're building the car in.
Okay.
So it looks like CATL is going to be supplying the batteries for the Berlin factory, at least temporarily.
Okay.
And then the Nevada Gigafactory will continue to supply packs to the California factory, the Fremont factory. And then the Model Y packs will be made on site in Austin.
Okay. So
So
according to
I'm guessing
that,
that the Model 3 will qualify.
then, but I guess so. Here we go. A buyer could get partial credit of 3750 if 40% of the critical minerals in the EV batteries are sourced from countries. So I guess like it's being produced in those factories in the U.S., but the minerals of it, we don't know if it's 40% of it is coming from the free countries.
I'm looking up lithium ion battery chemistry right now to see what percentage weight the lithium actually is.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, and also I wonder like, what's the deadline for this? Like what's the deadline that the IRS and the EPA are giving these manufacturers to be like, okay, by this date, you need to tell us 40% of your critical minerals are sourced from blah, 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 blah for us to qualify you for the 7,500? Or is it
Well,
like,
I think it's rolling. I think it's rolling. So
oh, okay,
as soon as they can prove that their stuff is 40%, then their stuff will start qualifying. But if
okay,
the more they delay, the worse it gets
right,
because they'll lose their sales to somebody else.
right, to the Bolt EV, which is actually, now I'm looking at it, a slick, super slick deal. If it's 27K, and if you can get one for 27K, yeah, you cannot beat that. Okay, Yafomo, the other people got demolished, yeah, for the Ford Lightning. So you did well. You did well. You paid markup, but it's still okay. You'll come out ahead. Happy Hippo, I'm curious why you think prices will crash. For example, Tesla orders are way into 2023 supply and demand. So that is an interesting one because if you go to order a Model 3 short range right now, you can get it this year. And just by looking at that, it's not actually into 2023. So that's one of the basis points that I look at to kind of see demand on.
So sorry, I'm
Oh, yeah,
breaking
go
in
ahead.
again. So a lithium ion battery is around 11% according to what I can find.
Okay, so what does that mean?
11% lithium. So it's not ultra super critical that like all of the lithium comes from a certain specific country.
Okay, but then what other parts make up an EV battery?
Chemical. So I'm looking on Statista. I don't know how reliable this is, but it looks like depends on which kind of battery. So you have some batteries where the rest of it is cobalt, and then you have other ones where you have lots of nickel. So it seems like Tesla might be the kind that has lots of nickel because they're saying that I need. Do you remember Elon Musk saying that he needed anyone to open a nickel mine?
Yeah.
And then so in the nickel type, it's 75% nickel, 11% lithium, and 14% cobalt. And then you have other ones with varying percentages of manganese.
Okay. And so the lithium comes from America, but everything else we don't
Well, the
necessarily.
lithium component, if it came from a country that the US does not have a free trade agreement with, like for example, Congo, the Republic of Congo or something,
Right.
that would be okay because then you would just have to somehow source 40% of that cobalt from a country that has a free trade agreement with the US.
Right. But I guess now that I'm looking at what are the critical minerals of an EV battery, or is everything in an EV battery a critical mineral?
I think everything that makes it up. So this chart doesn't have the lithium iron phosphate battery on it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if some of the iron could be
Right.
if it's a large enough percentage for the iron alone to qualify a battery. But I don't think it would actually be all that difficult to get a 40% made in a free trade agreement country battery.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see, and that's kind of the debate. Like, do do we try and just buy an EV car now, or take that gamble and pray for the manufacturers will try and get there so that you can get the $7,500 tax credit?
I think it depends on which car you want, right?
Right.
So like if it's a BMW or an Audi that you want or a Mercedes, don't gamble, just get it now because theirs will likely not qualify. And then you have the ones that will most likely definitely qualify, like the Chevy Bolt and the Mach E. So those you could probably wait.
Oh,
And
I
then you
like
have
this
like
idea.
things that will definitely not qualify, like the Rivian, definitely not qualify next year.
Wait. That's a good idea. Let's make a sheet. How do I make a new
I mean, you
sheet?
could just go off of this list. You could go from the top to the bottom on the list of the Department of Energy vehicles that currently qualify. So, like,
Yeah.
if it's the Audi Q5 right at the top, a 2022 Audi Q5, if you want that one, you'd have to buy
Okay.
that now. And then if
So
it's the
buy
BMW
now.
330e, you would have to
Okay.
buy that now. The BMW X5, you would have to buy that now.
Okay.
The Chevy Bolt EUV, you would have to buy that next year because right now that doesn't qualify because the manufacturer sales cap is met.
Yeah, because
So
either
you would
way, it
get
doesn't
uncapped.
qualify.
What?
Right. Either way, it doesn't qualify this year. So that's a next year.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So you would have to wait, and then same thing with the Bolt EV, and then the Chrysler Pacifica. I'm not sure where that battery is made, so I'm gonna put a question mark on that one. I have no idea.
Okay.
The Ford Escape plug-in hybrid, I'd have to guess that the battery is same as the Mach E or the F-150 type batteries, so that should qualify next year. The F-150 will qualify next year, so you could buy it now, you could wait. Uh, the Mach E will definitely qualify. I don't know why you would buy a Ford Transit van, um,
The plug-in.
because it's just the range on that thing is so garbage.
What's the range
Even
on
if you
that?
were a delivery person, I don't know how you would use that.
What's the range on the Ford Transit van?
I think it's 110.
Holy crap, that's not a lot at all. What?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right, the GM Hummer pickup. Can you even buy that right now? I'm not even sure. It's going to be too expensive next year, and the sales cap is met, so that car will never get the credit. Same
So
with the
never.
Hummer SUV, as far as I understand.
Wait,
Uh,
so going back to I missed Ford Escape plug-in. Yes or no?
I would say, yeah, definitely. I think that will definitely qualify next year. So you could get it now, you could get it next year, no problem.
Gotcha. Ford F-150, you have to, well, even right now it doesn't even qualify, right? Like a Lightning?
It
Because it's,
qualifies.
well, it has to be, it qualifies if it's under 80K.
Isn't the MSRP of that truck like 39,000?
What is the MSRP of that truck, Yalfo? He just bought one. It was not 30K. Sorry, not to laugh. But I think it starts at like 35K, but the most builds that you can get, like all I know is the Lariat. And I think that's the base one, and that's like up, getting close to like 80K for sure.
Okay, I'm on the Ford website right now. I'm gonna max one out and see what it caps out at. I'll max it out. Okay, so the platinum version starts at 96, and then the Lariat starts at 74. So
Okay,
anything Lariat and under technically should qualify.
right. So Lariat with like no minimal options, and of course no markup.
Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't even work for me.
All right, we're moving on, right?
Yeah, so let's go back. Okay, so Jeep
So
Cherokee, Grand Cherokee plug-in.
I have no idea. So the Jeeps, I don't know where those batteries are made or who makes those, but If I were to guess, it's LG and it's in Michigan. So if it's that, then it would qualify. If it's not made by LG and it's not the Michigan factory, they wouldn't. I don't know. I would put a question mark on that. I'd have to research that.
Okay. But either way, I think it, yeah, because SUV, my friend has one. He has the Jeep plug-in right now, and because they're basically the same Grand Cherokee and the Jeep in terms of like style of vehicle with the small battery. But he has one now, and he got the tax credit the first time, and I think his second one just came in on order, and I think
Mhm.
it qualifies because he's really considering to get it, just
Okay,
so he can get the tax credit again. And so if it
sure.
qualifies now, then it'll qualify next year too.
If the battery is made in the U.S., so some of these companies are crazy and they ship their batteries in from
Oh, that's true. So it's almost
overseas.
like don't take the risk and just buy it now then.
Yeah, if you're concerned about not getting the tax credit and you really want the car, I think I would buy it now. I guess.
Right. Okay,
The
let's
Lincoln Aviator and the Lincoln Corsair, those should be the same battery as the Mustang and the F Series trucks, so those
okay.
should qualify if they meet the price cap. But I don't know anything about those two cars. I didn't even know that Lincoln had plugins.
Right. I think it like literally just came out like within the past few
Yeah.
months. Or maybe it's not even out yet.
Yeah. The Lucid Air, if you can buy that car, I mean, you don't need the tax credit, so why do you even care? Um,
What?
the
The
next one is
rich
Nissan.
the rich, you gotta save taxes. Everybody cares about
Oh,
saving
come on.
taxes, even
Those
the
people
rich.
don't need that. Those people don't need $7,500.
Wait, but doesn't Lucid Air, isn't there a version that it's cheap enough? Like
If the company survives until then, which is a whole
oh,
nother can of worms. I don't know if you
shots.
have any Lucid fans watching your channel, but I get lots of hate online for every single time I say that Lucid is going to die.
What, wait, hold on. Now I want to know what's going on with Lucid.
Lucid, I mean, they do stupid things. Like, you know, you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes. So
Okay.
they want to build a factory in the middle of the desert in Saudi Arabia. Like, what the heck? Like, if you want your company to survive, build your factory in China. They have lots of consumers there, and
Right.
they
Well,
also have a vibrant export market there that you could ship to all over the place in that area. Like, why would your second factory be in the middle of the desert in Saudi Arabia? Aside from the fact that, you know, their sugar daddy is Saudi Arabia. But like, can we make that your third factory if you want your company to survive? Like, come on.
I see, I see. So they're definitely probably doing it because their investors are Saudi Arabians, right? The
Yeah,
fund. So they just
yeah.
have to do it. And also because I guess Saudi Arabia wants to support their economy in some sort of way, right?
Saudi Arabia is trying to change their economy over from the fossil fuel industry
I
because
see.
they know it's on its way out. So they're doing everything that they can to try to change it over, which is why I don't think that they will sell Lucid and get rid of it because this is their one ticket into the car world, um, which means that the stock probably won't die and the company probably won't die. But will it become the next Tesla? No, no chance.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That makes a lot more sense because they have to keep it around essentially and to support it.
Yeah. So essentially, Saudi Arabia is forced to hold on to it, and Lucid is forced to hold on to Saudi Arabia.
I see. I see. All right. So Nissan Leaf, moving on,
Nissan Leaf will qualify,
will qualify 100%.
100%. Those batteries are made in the U.S. The car manufactured in the U.S. That car gets a made in the USA label.
Okay. So now that's the question. So what does the Nissan Leaf start at?
The base model is really cheap, I think. Nissan Leaf 27,800.
Right. So if you were looking to buy this right now, would you buy this right now, or would you try and wait and play Oh no! Hold on. 1 second, my thing killed itself. Hold on, hold on. No. So I was basically paying for, I was using a subscription for Ecamm, the trial. And what happens is you get like 2 hours of free interview with that. And my free interview just ended during the thing. So let's go ahead and sign up for this so that we can get Sam back on. Because I had like 30 minutes left of the interview free trial, and then it looks like it just kicked itself off. I don't want to pay for the whole year. That's too much. Pay for this one, yeah. But hopefully you guys can hold with me for a second. I'll definitely answer all those questions on the market crashing and buying a Tesla and tips like that. We got some time carved out at the end for like a Q&A. But wait, that's weird. He can try and join, but I don't think that's gonna work. Let's see. Subscribe. All right, now active. Wait, I should be good. No. Huh. Do I have to kill this? Huh. Okay, so I signed up for the subscription, but for some reason it won't. Huh. Let me see. Do I have to kill the current thing and then go back on? I have the Pro. Sorry, guys. Okay, I thought I signed up for the subscription. Let me exit out really quick, and then we'll be right. Oh, can I do that though? I don't think I can. So no, that's my mining, my crypto mining rig. It makes Ethereum a little bit each month. Why can't I... All right, let me try this really quick.